Breda Ba.88, Lynche, fighter attack aircraft. History of the aircraft. Main modifications. Flight and technical characteristics. Combat use. In January 1936, the headquarters of the Regia Aeronautica, Italian Royal Air Force, issued requirements for a prospective twin-engine multirole fighter attack aircraft capable of reaching a speed of 470 km per hour. It also had to have a range of at least 2,000 km in heavy armament with two 20mm guns and two 12.7mm machine guns. 8 firms responded to the request. After considering the designs, the Breda's proposal, Project Ba.88, developed under the leadership of A. Pirano and J. Panzeri, was declared the best. It was based on a previously developed single-engine Ba.75 reconnaissance plane, from which the wing and tail were taken for the new machine. The Breda Ba.88 was a high plane of all-metal construction with retractable landing gear. The fuselage design was a semi-monocoque fuselage, but with an inner tubular truss. This design was excessively heavy, which subsequently affected the fate of the plane. The prototype with Isotta Fraschini K-14 engines, 880 horsepower, was flighted in October 1936. In April 1937, the aircraft set a number of world speed records which served as a good advertisement and impetus for its acceptance for service. By the autumn, the prototype had been modified by replacing the single wing tip with double wing, to increase the firing range of the gunner's gun, and by fitting Piaggio P11 RC40 engines. These engines were chosen for the production machines, although a number of alternative power plants, including imported ones, were also considered. Despite the problems with controllability and the overweight of the aircraft when installing the necessary equipment and armament, the machine was put into mass production. The total production run from 1939 to 1940 was 147 machines. Engines. Piaggio P11 RC40. Power. 1,000 horsepower. Wingspan. 15.40 meters. Length of the aircraft. 10.75 meters. Height of the aircraft. 30 meters. Wing area. 34 square meters. Weight, kilogram. Empty aircraft, 4,650. Takeoff weight, 6,750. Maximum speed, 490 km per hour. Time of climb to an altitude of 3,000 meters, 7.5 minutes. Practical ceiling, 8,000 meters. Flying range, 1,640 kilometers. Basic modifications of the Breda Ba.88 aircraft. Ba.88 Piaggio pages 11 RC40 engines, 1,000 horsepower. Weaponry: 3 12.7mm machine guns in the nose of the fuselage, one 7.7mm machine gun on the upper turret. The bomb load capacity is 300 kg. Crew 2 people. Produced 147 aircraft, including 8 in training version with dual control. Ba.88M, converted to single-seat dive bomber. Fuselage was lengthened, wingspan was increased. Engines, Fiat, A74 RC38, 840 horsepower. A bomb bay was installed instead of the cockpit, and bombs of 1,500 kilograms or 2,250 kilograms could be suspended under the fuselage. In order to lighten the machine, the fuel reserve was reduced and the list of onboard equipment was reduced. After several trials of the re-equipped aircraft in 1942, it was ordered to re-equip 80 aircraft. In fact, about 35 were re-equipped. Combat use of the Breda Ba.88 during World War II. Deliveries of Ba.88 to combat units began in May 1939. The 7th and 19th groups of the 5th Assault Starma were equipped with them. They made their combat debut on the 16th of June 1940, when 12 aircraft of the 7th Group, having taken off from the airbase in Sardinia, stormed French airfields on the island of Corsica. On the 17th of June the raid was repeated. This time 9 Ba.88s took part in it. In August 1940, Group 7 was redeployed to Libya. The first flights showed that the Ba.88s were completely unsuited to the climatic conditions of the North African theater. The installation of dust filters did not help either. When the 3 planes left for their first combat mission on September 14, 1940, all sorties ended up in emergency landings. On 14 and the 15th of October attempts were again made to put the Ba.88 into combat, but they also ended unsuccessfully. In the first case, the crews of the 3 planes were unable to find targets, and in the second, the plane sent for reconnaissance was shot down by its own anti-aircraft guns. A month later, the 7th Group was officially removed from combat duty. By that time, only 12 of the 28 Ba.88s it had were capable of taking to the air, but only 3 were considered fully combat ready. After the engines, armament and equipment had been removed, they were set up on Libyan airfields as decoys. The irony was that it was in November 1940 that the industry surrendered its last batch of brand new Ba.88s. The Breda Ba.88 megaseconds were taken over by combat units in only a handful of cases. In 1942, they were tested in the 101st Dive Bomber Group and in the 103rd Group in the summer of 1943, there were a few of them. The Breda Ba.88 can probably claim the title of the most unlucky aircraft of World War II. Despite a number of world records, it was never really combat ready and attempts to use it in combat ended in complete failure.